Hello, I'm James D. Watkins. Odyssey Works, Eclipse Enterprises, and Phoenix Productions. This is again one of my book reviews that I do. These are just some of the ground rules for a book review. Why do I do book reviews? Well, because most people don't read anymore. They just watch and see. There's a big difference between watch, see, and reading. So that's why I do a book review. My book reviews will run the gamut on a wide variety of subjects or topics and or industries that I'm interested in and that I think most people will be interested in too. Now, some books that I read are thick as hell. Do I have the time to read all that? No. If I don't, I will let you know the chapters that I do highlight, and I do rate those chapters, okay? Some books they're more manageable for me to read and get through. Now, my rating for a book review is as follows. 1 page means the book is not worth your time. 10 pages means go out and buy it or download it, or read it through whatever device you want to read it through. Now, I will state this as well. I know giving ratings and reviews may not be fair. Being a filmmaker, being a theater producer, being a comic book artist, being a theater producer as well, it takes a lot of hard work and discipline. Having said that, it's easy for anyone or public who's not into that world to say this sucks, or that sucks ass, or it's great, not knowing how much work goes into a particular project behind the scenes. I do realize that. As I stated before, some of these books are thick. That means the author or the co-authors or a ghostwriter who helped them out write the book put a lot of time and effort. Or do they? And it wouldn't be fair for me to just give it a 1 page just because I think it's not good. However, and I have to agree with this statement as well too, just because you're not into that industry or into that art, each one of us do have an objectified opinion or viewpoint on certain works or certain artworks, and you are afforded the opportunity, and it's your right to say if you like it or you don't like it. So it goes both ways. Having said that, let's get started. Now, this book review is called The Big Picture: The Fight for the Future of Movies. The author is Mr. Ben Fritz. Most likely you are viewing this video or my book review on some type of electronic or digital device, either desktop or handheld. One thing is certain: you are not seeing this in a movie screen or a movie theater. And that's the basis of this book. Again, the book is The Big Picture: The Fight for the Future of Movies. Now, Mr. Ben Fritz, the author, he looks at how the Hollywood industry has changed and how that industry has morphed, for better or worse, into a completely different industry from whence its genesis was started from. He goes all the way back to the old studio system. Now, the old studio system, well, to give it the correct name, it's the Studio Star system. That system ended in the 1950s. And there are many books about that era. In fact, there's a couple of books I have coming up dealing with that era, the 1950s. Basically, what the studio system was this: celebrities or stars, they were under exclusive contracts to movie studios. What that meant was they were not permissible to make movies at other movie studios at that time. In the 1950s, that changed. These actors or celebrities or stars, or however you want to call them, they were now considered free agents. A free agent. They could go out and work for other studios. You see that today, currently. Now, this is just one of the subjects Mr. Ben Fritz touches upon while he unravels how and why you are looking at this review on an alternative movie screen. Not a movie screen, but an alternative screen. He goes from how the DVD rental and sale business crumbled to how the rise of the superheroes have maintained and stabilized the movie business. And he talks about, which is very interesting, to the decline of the celebrity actor and to and how the Walt Disney Company wallows in mediocrity and money. And he goes to the current state of creativity that's now found on smaller screens and also video alternatives. Interesting too, he takes a literary detour and he discusses the decline and rise of the Marvel comic book empire, or the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Even though I have read 3 other books based solely on that subject alone, I thought it was interesting how Ben Fritz took time out from talking about how the whole movie industry has shifted. And he goes to talk about how Marvel Comics, everyone jumped on the bandwagon. Everyone knew superheroes' origins, legacy. The cosplay industry was like a cottage industry, but these same people have no idea that Marvel went bankrupt, sold all their assets, their superheroes. But again, like I said, those are other reviews for other books, but I thought it was interesting. Ben Fritz, the author of this book, touches upon that. Now, Ben Fritz's book, it's a brisk and it's an easy read. He doesn't rely on industry jargon to get his point across. And he's not so industry astute as to be convoluted in his writings. Much like this last sentence I just said to you. I did that on purpose. The main theme seems to be how branding and movie franchising has taken not only the business of Hollywood, but the creativity as well. There's a reason why all of you is seeing sequels, spin-offs, remakes, and reboots. It's all to serve the bottom line and not the artistic mind. The bottom line, basically, Wall Street, stocks. These companies are publicly traded companies. A lot of them, let's take Sony Pictures, which owns Columbia Pictures. A lot of them have other subsidiaries. Sony, electronics maker. Columbia, well, back in the day, Columbia Studios also had Coca-Cola company as well. And Movie Studios was a subsidiary, a side project for them. But they had other streams of revenue coming in. But if they're a public company, they need to account cash flow, revenue, profit, loss statements to the shareholders on Wall Street. That's what that bottom line means. But I have to admit, something has to be sacrificed. Again, it serves the bottom line, but not the artistic mind. As others have stated before, if you want something different, thought-provoking, interesting ideas, you may have to look elsewhere for those ideas and concepts and creativity. For the standard movie industry is fighting for the future of their own movies. Again, the title of this book is called The Big Picture, The Fight for the Future of Movies. The author is Mr. Ben Fritz. And I have to admit, I read this book several times. That's how brisk and easy it was to read. My rating, again, is 1 page, means the book's not worth your time. I know I'm kind of harsh on some books because it takes time. 10 pages means it's worth your time. This one, I give it a full 10 pages. I'm James D. Watkins. Here's my book review. Odyssey, Eclipse, and Phoenix. Thank you for your time.